You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody, for the overtime segment for Emerald Water. The overtime refresher. We're sticking a flood on for overtime. This is no regular season game. Checking the poll results, by the way, for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. I don't know. One of our viewers, it was JR in Cranbrook, says, is there no poll today? Oh, there is. I guess we haven't talked about it enough, but it's on Twitter and Facebook on our accounts, and that is who will win the CFL's conference finals on the weekend. It's the same thing that Clark put up last week, and I like it. You're going to vote for Sask Hamilton, Sask Edmonton, Winnipeg Hamilton, or Winnipeg Edmonton. And the whopping majority of respondents are voting for Saskatchewan Hamilton to win and set up the matchup in the 107th Grey Cup in Calgary. 65% of you think it's going to be Saskatchewan Hamilton. And by the way, that's what I've gone with. This is the Twitter results. Clark's telling me on Facebook the results are 71% saying Sask Hamilton. 16% say Winnipeg Hamilton. But like nobody's giving Edmonton a chance to win at all. The consternation here is between the Riders and the Bombers.
No Rod Pedersen show in Edmonton, apparently.
You know, our technical... What are you? Technical advisor, Ryan? Technical producer. See why he's got the laptop up? He's the analytics guy. Edmonton is the fourth highest viewership city.
They don't even think they're going to win.
They watch, but they don't participate.
Well, that's whenever the CFL or anybody comes out with a poll and the Saskatchewan Roughriders are an option, they always win because what do people from Saskatchewan do? Support the Riders.
Support their team, right? So in Edmonton they watch, they don't engage, but whatever, that's their deal. But they are... They're the seventh highest city, Ryan, today, just today.
Behind Beirut, Lebanon, and...
Ryan Baracco tells us.
Norway.
So thank you, Ryan, as he does that over there. So anyways, those are the poll results. The whopping majority picks Sask Hamilton. And Smitty, did I even ask you for a prediction yet? Our director of scouting, Craig Smith.
Yeah, no, you haven't. And like I had mentioned before, I think Hamilton, I think they're going to win. I think that they've got the team this year, and I think they may win the whole thing. I can't make a prediction on Saskatchewan and Winnipeg.
Why?
Because one minute I'll say, yeah, Saskatchewan's going to win. Then the next minute I'll say, no, Winnipeg's going to win. So that's a tough one.
It is.
The one thing I think that could put Saskatchewan over the hump is home field advantage. You know, it's always tough to go in there and win. Now, the Riders fans, they have to bring their A game. I've been in that stadium. I've been on the other side, and I've been in Winnipeg Stadium. I've been on the visitor side, and to me, it was louder in Winnipeg. My ears hurt. That didn't happen here. And I remember the first time, guys were coming off the field saying, "It's not that bad. You know, it's not that noisy. You know." So, if they bring their A game, it's going to help. But.
Boy, is that a topic that we could delve into the next time you're here, because you're right. The new stadium is loud.
It is loud.
But it's not as loud as even the old place.
Yeah.
And, you know, George Cortez, good friend of mine, we talk all the time. He's probably listening today. Coached at Berkeley, coached in the NFL with the Bills. When he was the OC with the Stamps, he said there's nothing louder than Taylor Field, visitor side. Nothing. The old place. Now, Investors Group Field in Winnipeg, they've run the tests, and while I disputed the results of those tests, they're true. It is the loudest stadium in the CFL.
The acoustics are good there.
Right.
Don't forget, we haven't had too many big events, a lot of things to cheer about in relation to Taylor Field at the new stadium. There's been a couple times where when everyone's been up on their feet, and everybody's been at the games, first of all, and up on their feet, it gets pretty loud. And you can tell by what the offensive line of the other team's doing on the field when they can't hear. You can tell when they can't hear. Our defense will move before their offense. You can see it. It's an obvious effect.
But Smitty, you make a good point about the home crowd, but here's the thing. There's only one sellout all year here, and it was Labor Day, and that was because of Bomber fans. Yeah. And if this thing sells out on Sunday, it'll be because of Bomber fans. So just because it's 33,000 doesn't necessarily mean they're all going to be cheering for when the Riders are on defense.
Let's get in our time machine and go back 5 years when we're talking about seat capacity of Taylor Field.
No, I'm just saying that the Winnipeg factor, don't underestimate it on Sunday.
Absolutely, but that's why they built such a big stadium, so that they could have extra seats, so that everybody could come. Selling out 33,000 seats in a city of 200,000. That's
not easy to do.
You can't do it.
No. I'm saying
You need the
kudos to
Bomber
those that are
fans.
coming. If you're going to sell it out, bravo.
Heck
but
yeah.
they're not all going to be in green. That's all that I'm saying.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Oh, it
makes it
absolutely
fun.
does. But Smitty's saying the home people, because that'll be the vast majority, they need to be loud. They need to help out their team because they might not necessarily have their quarterback out there. That's the storyline.
Big time. Both quarterbacks. I mean, Zach, is he going to last the game? I mean, it's very intriguing. The quarterbacking is critical. Offensive line, both defenses are solid.
So evenly matched. They got a great pass rusher. We got a great pass rusher. They got a stud offensive line. We got a stud offensive line. They got a good
running back,
quarterback, whoever it is.
Yeah.
We got a good quarterback, whoever it is. It's so evenly matched. That's why I think you're saying that like I'm saying it's gonna come down to the it factor, the mojo, and fan noise falls right into that category. That is going to be the difference.
We're going to go a little long, boys, okay? Just because the traffic's bad getting out of here at noon. I know that. So we're just going to go a little longer here, and here's why. Gary Lawless came on and said he expects Mike O'Shea's going to have his fingerprints a little more involved in the defensive game plan, and I would think that is horrible for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And I don't know if Gary knows something, but any time O'Shea has overridden Richie in key points, it hasn't worked out for them. I think Richie Hall's bend but don't break defense, that he hates that term, but it is what it's not a pressure defense. It's just not. But if he sends pressure at the right time, and leave that up to Richie, not Osh, let Richie call the game. You have to let your defensive coordinator call the game, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I would say. I mean, it pressure to me is critical. It don't matter who the quarterback is. If he's got his feet planted and he's able to throw, he can.
You lose.
Well, no, he's able to do his job. Yep. And if you get pressure on and the guy is, he's moving, and it makes a difference. So to me, pressure is critical.
It's funny. I was going to ask that question earlier to you. How would you be Saskatchewan? And I would say, because I would say the same thing. Send pressure. When quarterbacks are comfortable, they win the game because
Absolutely.
it's just pitch and catch in the backyard. Cody's really good under pressure.
Yep.
We saw him his last game. They brought a little bit of pressure. He had to throw hot. He had to make the reads. Force him to do that, and that's where I was going to say what I would do is bring pressure, but I'm not one to. I'm nobody. I've never even been a defensive coordinator of my Adam kids team, let alone
You don't
Richie Hall.
You don't have to blitz 90% of the time like Chamberlain has done with success. But if you do it at the right time, do you remember last October?
Of course.
Right, when Zach Caleros and the Riders lost 31-0 in Winnipeg, Zach was knocked from the game from a safety blitz by Jeff Heck at just the right time.
And it's quite safe to see. You see the game, Calgary against Winnipeg. They brought a run blitz every single play. And if Winnipeg doesn't expect the same sort of run blitz every single play, well, they can just stay there and mail the trophy to you to us.
What quarterback is going to be able to, if there's pressure, read, and then hit hot? Because so many times that doesn't happen, and it's critical. Your receivers, they have to make sure that they know, okay, I'm the hot receiver. I got to be looking right away.
Your quarterback has to be there on day one of camp so they can get on the same page, right? And not thrown in there with 2 weeks left.
Said you have a not near 100% Cody Fajardo. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And then an Isaac Harker, a rookie.
Which is tough.
Me? I'm either defensive coordinator. I'm bringing the house every play.
Yep.
Every play. Yeah. But run blitz, not like stunting and stuff. Just run guys through gaps because of the running backs, right? Once you start twisting and moving guys around, you can create lanes if someone's timing's off. You run linebackers, you run a safety right up the middle through a gap. He's in his gap. That gap's gone.
But that Saskatchewan defense, that's a good defense. It's tough. You take a look at how many points Winnipeg scored when they played them. It's going to be interesting, because
they blew out the sorry.
Go ahead.
They blew out the Riders when they were in Winnipeg. Mm-hmm. So home field is
is a big thing.
Yeah.
So a report from Rider practice: Shaq Evans is not practicing. Kenny Stafford is with the first team. So Kenny Stafford's been waiting all year, and it looks like he finally gets his opportunity at that wide receiver position.
Kenny can make plays.
Kenny can, that's not a huge drop-off right there.
He's a damn good receiver. He's a clutch guy.
Yeah, and the other thing next week, thank you, Clark, for putting this up. Next week, guys, are you ready? Obviously, these two good-looking gentlemen. But Mike Benavides from the CFL on TSN. Mike Benavides will be in the bunker, right?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Tell him I love him.
Yeah.
John Murphy from the Toronto Argonauts. Murph will be on the program. Keon Raymond. We got some news there with Keon, whom I've never met, but I've heard nothing but outstanding things about from Calgary. He's an exemplary gentleman. Keon Raymond, Stamps, great. Derek Dennis, same thing. Great guy. Left tackle of the Stamps will be with us. Ryan Ballantyne. What is this, Calgary week? Trying to boost up the Calgary viewers. Ryan Ballantyne will be with us. CFL Stampeders podcaster, blogger, and chief punk, as I call him, from BBC Canada, Big Brother Canada. Sean Lemon, our CFL playoff analyst. The great Roger Aldag. Doggy. Fofo. He'll be in here. Justin Dunk. He is Canada's Adam Schefter. Jeff Shatler of your Saskatchewan Rush, and I love that guy, number 77. Great guy. Rush opening up training camp here, and more. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you very much for having me.
Crazy weekend.
Yes, it is.
Oh, man. Looking forward to this.
Let's get her going. Let's get her going. All right. We're going to sign off the air. Thanks to all of our viewers, of course. Without you, there would be no us. Same thing for our sponsors. And we'll see you Monday right here, 10 a.m. Central on Facebook Live.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.